Hello, how are we all today? It's Christmas time now. It's the 14th of December. So in Britain, we actually start celebrating Christmas only on the 12th. So just a couple of days ago, you could actually put up your Christmas decorations. I'm actually back home now. Travelled back from Sao Paulo about a week ago, and now I'm home. And my mum she did put up the decorations a couple of days ago, the Christmas tree. And today I'm going to continue talking about slang terms, uh, specifically Cockney rhyming slang. For Christmas terms, I'm going to look at Christmas especially today because it is December. So let me think. There's a few specific things that are related to Christmas that we only have in Britain and I think in some other countries too. But for example, in Brazil, they didn't know what tinsel was. So tinsel was a decoration, and it's very shiny and bright, and it's something that you put around the Christmas tree, or you just hang up on the walls. I don't actually have any on me because for some reason um, we don't have any tinsel this year. We have like little flecks of tinsel on the tree, but it's just tiny little bits, so it doesn't really work. But look it up, look it on YouTube. Lots of, if you just put tinsel in YouTube, you'll be able to find uh, lots of images of tinsel. And also, crackers. Do you know what crackers are? Crackers are something that Brits like to pull on Christmas Day at dinner. So at dinner time, you have a cracker in front of you. Again, I don't have any, but again, look it up. It's basically just has two ends, and that one person holds one end, and the person next to you holds the other end, and you pull it, and then it makes a little popping sound, and inside the crackers are a hat, Christmas hat, which I always love to put on, and I'm always the last to take it off because a lot of people, many of my family friends, they wear it for dinner and then they just take it off. Uh, that's not Christmas. That is not the Christmas spirit. So you've got to keep it on all day. If you ever do pull a cracker and you wear a Christmas hat. Also in the cracker is a joke, Christmas joke, and they are always terrible jokes, but they're quite funny because they're so bad. They're like dad jokes. They're that bad. You also have a little game in there as well. So I mean, they're very basic. I'm trying to think of. They might have like a die in there. Um, Another thing as well. A die is like one dice. Do I have them? I do have. One sec. Let me get some. Let me get my dice. Or one of them at least, just so you know what I'm talking about. Because I use it actually for my with my students when I play a game. So here, yeah, there you go. That's a die, just one of them. But two of those are dice. So you might get one or two in there, but they would be really small. I'm pretty sure I've seen like a quarter of that size, and that's pretty small. So that's crackers. Let me have a look. I did write this down again because my memory's not fantastic. Well, in fact, for Christmas, the actual word Christmas, we sometimes use the word Crimbo. Crimbo. And in fact, look up. In fact, I might post it on YouTube, on my Facebook channel from YouTube, the Bow Selector Crimbo. In fact, I will do that. I'll put it on sometime this week. And also, Father Christmas himself You may know him as Santa Claus, but we have well, Santa Claus, Santa, and Father Christmas, and even Saint Nick, Saint Nicholas as well. We sometimes call him. Well, no, it's rarely that anybody would call him Saint Nick. If you were being very, I don't know, official, you might say Saint Nick, but you probably wouldn't. Um, Now, of course, what does he do? Santa Claus. He comes to bring presents, right? That's another thing. Presents. In fact, the Portuguese word presente, same spelling, basically. I think it's got an e on the end, um, but it's spelt exactly the same. Apart from that, but we would say prezzies as well. Double Z. Prezzies. If you're buying lots of presents, you can say, I'm going to bring round the prezzies, and Father Christmas does, and he comes down the chimney. I know a lot of people, especially in Brazil, do not have chimneys because you don't really, well, you don't at all need to heat up your homes because it's always warm. Apart from in winter, it gets a little bit cold. In fact, when I was there in winter, there was one day where it was really cold. So I bought, I had to buy a hat. Where is it? I think it's downstairs. A woolly hat which covered my ears. I got a scarf, which I do have here somewhere, but it's okay. You know what a scarf looks like, and gloves, which I do have those. I do have those. These are the exact gloves I bought. Just warm that day because the next day it was fine. So that's Brazil. It's warm quite a lot of the time. What else? Oh yeah, mince pies. I don't think they're worldwide. I know they probably have them in America, but we love them here. Mince pies, and I've had some of my mum's homemade mince pies, which are delicious, and there's not a huge amount of sugar. She tries to be healthy. If you buy them in the shops, they are loaded with sugar, which makes them taste really delicious. But got to watch the sugar, people. Mistletoe as well. So you may have heard about the mistletoe or not. It's like something. It's green. It's like a. Is it a leaf? I guess, or maybe not. But it has like a little. I want to say a cherry. It's not a cherry. It's like a. Is it a cherry? All I know about mistletoe is it's hard, and it actually hurts if you press it because it's got pointy bits. And you put it up in your home, and you're supposed to kiss under it. So if you, I'm sure you've seen Friends. They do a little bit of something on mistletoe where somebody has to kiss someone on the mistletoe. So you may know about mistletoe, but I don't think that's worldwide. But we do have that here. And of course, what do we eat at Christmas? Turkey. I know the Americans do as well on Thanksgiving. But we actually wait until, well, there's no Thanksgiving in England or Britain. We have turkey on Christmas Day. That is the day when we have that turkey, which, to be honest, I'm not a massive fan of. It's quite dry. I prefer chicken. That is just slang terms, or just like not necessarily slang. It's just words that we use at Christmas time. And I thought, because it is Christmas, I thought I'd share some of those with you today. And also, yeah, let's do it. I'm going to talk about money as well and slang terms for money, because of course at Christmas you have to think about money because you need to spend some on presents, on prezzies, and hopefully you might even get given some money. If you don't want any actual presents, you might ask for money, so you might get some. So just some terms for money in Britain. Let me actually show you. So I've got a little bit of money on me because I don't know what you call coins. Here's a coin. This is the pound coin, which actually I found out yesterday that these particular pound coins have stopped stopped working. That's a bad way of saying it, but you can't spend these because they've changed pound coins. They're different now. So I tried to spend this, they wouldn't let me. So I have to go to the bank. But that's a coin, COIN. And a note. Here is a £5 note with the Queen on there. There she is, still going. She's about 100 now. On the back there, Winston Churchill. He was the Prime Minister in the Second World War. And this is a £5 note. This can also be called 5 quid. So quid is kind of a slang term for pound. And also a fiver. A fiver. Now, £10 you can say is a tenner. 20 is a score. £25 is a pony. 50 bullseye, and that comes from the dartboard. Do they play darts? They do play darts in most places. I don't know many Brazilian darts players. Maybe it's not a sport that they play in South America. Maybe it is. Tell me if I'm wrong. But that's when you have the dart and you throw it at the board, and in the middle is the bullseye, and that's worth 50 points. That's why we call it a bullseye. £50. 100 is a ton. 500 is a monkey. I don't know why, but that is what we call it. And £1,000 is a grand. So those are some of the slang terms for money. Also, I've just learned recently that the £1 can also be called a sov, which is short for sovereign, which is what the coins were called back in the day. It's another British term. When you're talking about the past, you say back in the day. Oh, and also Cockney rhyming slang, bangers and mash, cash. So cash, money, dosh, cha-ching, gravy, green, juice, some other slang terms for money. And if someone has a lot of money, rich people, we would say they are minted. A fat cat, you could call them. Filthy, stinking rich, flush, loaded, and they have deep pockets. All these terms are actually from a website which I will put on the blurb below, so check that out. It's called I did write it down, one sec, onlineslangdictionary.com. Also last week I put the Cockney rhyming slang .co.uk. That's just the Cockney rhyming slang. The online slang dictionary is slang from many places. It's not just Britain, but I've tried to focus on just the British terms and the ones that I use, or the ones that make me laugh. So some more about money. So I've spoken about the rich people. What about poor people, or when you don't have much money? When something is Meryl Streep, cheap, a bargain, bargainous, but you want to avoid being skint, or brassy, or brassic, I should say, broke, having peanuts, penniless, potless, strapped for cash, shrapnel, and threepence. So those are what you want to avoid, having very little money. Duck and dive as well is also a term, Cockney rhyming slang for skint, but it also means hide as well, so it has two meanings. But ducking and diving, when I think about ducking and diving, it kind of, for me, it's like somebody who's up to no good. They're ducking and diving, they're weaving and bobbing, they're being a little bit, not doing the best of things, being the best of persons. And that's pretty much it for today. But because it's Christmas, I just wanted to go through a few Christmas films that I would recommend that you watch, because it's not just about if you want to learn the language. speaking is one of the most important parts of it, but of course listening to me speak and hearing my British accent. These films mainly are American, but it will still help you. And these are some of my favourite films. Home Alone, love Home Alone. 1 and 2, they're both brilliant films. Die Hard, love Die Hard. Elf, really funny film. Gremlins, that's meant to be a classic. I did watch it a few years ago. I wasn't a massive fan of it, but it's quite good. Bad Santa, now that's a bit rude, but it's very rude. So just for adults, that one. Arthur Christmas. This is yes, it's like a animation. It's really yeah, I really enjoyed that. Watched that a few years ago. Muppets Christmas Carol. If you do like the Muppets, which I do, which most people do, Christmas Carol is arguably their best film. And my favourite is It's a Wonderful Life. That is just a wonderful film. Was bawling my eyes out when I first watched that. So make sure you have your tissues when you watch that one. And I'll put a link down below on my Facebook page and on my YouTube channel of a website where you can see more Christmas films. Okay, so that's it for today. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube, please do. Or if you're not following my Facebook or my Instagram, it's all under the name Learn British English with Rob Wynne. So, thank you very much for watching, and I will speak to you next week. Bye-bye.